big slogan of ours is, what does it look like to make history for our club?
The belief is there. Go ahead and try and get these points and hopefully make the playoff run.
If you thought the win at San Diego was going to be a crazy start to your week, well, there's a lot of news coming up right this weekend. Well, welcome once again to another edition of the Orange or Blue Press podcast with the Bayou City Soccer. I'm your host, Manny Olivares. I know I'm hyped, but I know Diego is hyped as well. What you got, Diego?
I'm
I know you're hyped.
I'm
Well, you got new swag. I saw that.
I got new swag. I got new swag. First off, let's focus. She believes. Hyped that I got to go, and also me, Houston Dash repping. I finally got around to getting a jersey. Shout out my girlfriend for the amazing gift. Um, gotta love it, man. Gotta love it. It was hard. It was hard picking between the new one, the Houston Chronicles kit, and this one. I ended up picking this one because I wear darker colors. But man, this is today's been a day, huh? If you're a Dash fan,
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. It is. I think we'll get into that. What we're talking about. If you haven't heard the big news reported by Sports Illustrated, but we'll talk about more of that. But let's get through just what happened over the weekend, and we'll talk about the news and also just the preview for coming up for and how much that news will affect the preview actually
mm-hmm.
to going down. But let's get through on the first opening day of the NWSL. It was a if you look over the league at the NWSL this weekend, it was a pretty same scoreline for mostly every match. It was a 1-0 wins for the majority of the league except one game at Chicago that 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 got demolished that weekend. But everything else was like 1-0, 2-1, and the Houston Dash game was a part of that as well. Houston was a very Dustin even before the game like put your money on the Dash because they were massive underdogs for this game. It was like at one point I can't remember the number, but it was really bad. And I think if you were going to this league and going to this match already, San Diego just dominated this game, from start to end. Dash have some few moments that they had some bright spots that were added, but mostly it was just San Diego again and again and again and again on there. And Jane happened to do Super Jane again. Had to do uh, blocked made 9 saves for today for this match. I think a lot of people from ESPN one should give her the player of the week because just her incredible performance. Because if it wasn't for that, I think if you watched Chicago versus Angel City FC, I think the Dash would have got that result of 4-0. It looked like the San Diego was going to win by a huge number, but Jane kept us in the game and a quick counterattack from from Malia Berkeley to Maggie Graham. Maggie Graham saw Makenzy Robbe making a quick run and deep in the opposition's territory, made a huge long pass to her, and she rolled it past the goalkeeper, and that was pretty much it. That was all she wrote. 1-0, literally at halftime, and that was pretty much it. Portillo, Lumila, and Caroli, how's Gia Caroli, the German player. She was massive, and of
Mm-hmm.
course Kenton Denali, banging and banging on Jane, and it was pretty much that. I think uh, a hard win for the Dash. If you're a Dash fan, it was the most stressful game of having a 1-0 lead for majority of the second time and seeing how San Diego was very dominant. But your quick
Mhm.
thoughts on the game overall. I know I missed one crucial detail with K Fase having a horrible injury in the second half, but your quick thoughts overall.
Yeah, I mean, I think you summed it up pretty perfectly. This is the game that got away for San Diego. I think understanding that Houston were going into this game expecting not to have the ball and kind of getting that is never going to be a fun feeling. Uh, Last time we were at Snapdragon, the Dash only had a 32% of the ball, and this one I believe was 23.
I think so. I think it was pretty much the same thing as well. I think it was 6. Well, the dash was a little bit better. 68% to San Diego and 32% to Houston.
Okay, so a little better on that one. I think understanding bless you, Manny. As 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 we look at this game, I think it's important to nail down I think three things. One, Super Jane, Captain Campbell, whatever you want to call what whoever was between the sticks that night, unbelievable and superhuman. Jane Campbell is the captain of this team. Is the is the best goalkeeper in in the NWSL. Might I comment that? I mean, you see a player put up 9 saves on the first game of the season, and wake up like it's nothing. Especially the saves that she was pulling up, not just simple ones. That's the type of player that wins you games, and I think having a player like Jane Campbell really be in her best is going to really benefit the Dash, and I think we saw that. And yeah, moving on to number two, I think the rookies were instrumental. Fabrice started 4 out of the rookies. Um, Kate Fasse, Linda Olamark, if I remember correctly, Kat Rader, and Leia Klinke. All of them started, and I mean they were phenomenal. Fabrice said in the post game presser, they all had a touch on the ball before the goal was scored by Robbie. I think that shows you that even if there were nerves, there's the level of professional ability that they get and that they have from day one, and that's extremely promising if you're a Dash fan. And then I think the third one that I think I want to note is they handled pressure and they handled dominance from another team a lot better than what we saw from last year. You mentioned Chicago kind of fell apart. That was a game that we would have seen from the Dash last year, especially in the first half of the season. You take a game like the Washington Spirit game where we lost, where we saw the Dash lose 4-0, and that's exactly what happened. The Dash weren't able to absorb the pressure. The Dash weren't able to really freeze out the opportunities that Washington had, and therefore we get a 4-0 loss on that schedule. But this San Diego team was arguably very much neutralized. I think, yeah, there was a couple scares. Jane Campbell had to save us, but at the end of the day, if you're looking at a pretty strong San Diego team and you're looking at this as the first game of the season, then you have to ask yourself, like, how negative can we truly be about this? Because it was a huge result.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was. It was a massive result if you were a Houston Dash fan. Hard to see, but it was pretty much that. I think one quick. I know you mentioned it. On your second point, rookies. You know, I think when we first came out the lineup, our predictions. I think we had a most veteran lineup except with one rookie, either Linda Olmark or Kat Faze in the lineup. But everybody, but I think off the bat, with Lisa Boyton out, and then I think that was pretty much a lock shoe in for Leah Klinkley to start in the back of the line. I think, but it was really interesting the effort they do. I think my question to you: out of the 4 rookies, which one impressed you the most in the first professional debut?
I mean, it's got to be Clanky, no? It's got to be
Yeah,
Clanky.
I
I
think I
think
think
Clanky's stop that honestly was the San Diego breakthrough if it would have slipped past. I mean, that was the game decider. Captain Campbell might have given us 9 saves from that night, but the one that really mattered and the one that really came up clutch was Clanky. and that's the type of experience that you get from a player that has played at a high level for 4 years in college, but the tenacity and the risk taking and the just the innate sense that, hey, you're gonna take that, you're gonna take the risk, you're gonna risk taking the hard foul. That's a seasoned veteran. That's something you see
Mhm.
from players that have been in this league for 10 plus years, and this is Leia Klinke's first game. I mean, that's the mentality that needs to be displayed. This is that Houston grit that Fabrice was ever so longing in the preseason. I think Kat and Kate, specifically Kate, I want to highlight. She's getting there, and I think we're gonna talk about her later because of some unfortunate things. But I think the rookies are naturally going to develop and get better and better and better. But
Mhm.
Clinky's already looking like a solid defender in this league, and
Yeah.
it's just been one game.
Yeah. Like,
So I don't know. It's just phenomenal to see. It's phenomenal. Lisa Boateng hasn't had a full season with the Dash, and she's already having to fight for a spot. I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. I think
unbelievable.
when we talked the preseason, that was the rookie I was most impressed the most. I told you, and I told Dustin. I think Dustin laughed at me, but I think I
I
told you that.
laughed at you. I laughed at you.
Yeah,
I
that
admit I was wrong. I
I think
was
I think
wrong
I
about
think
the first
Clinking
game.
Clinking in this game looked like what we saw Avery in her first game in the with the Dash. But I think Clinking was more defensive, while Avery is more, as you see, more attack wise. But I feel like she control. I think if you look at her stats, just real quick, I don't want to be like a whole stats drama, but she made 3 tackles, 3 clearances, uh, uh, won her air duels. The one I like the most is ground duels. When they're wrestling
Mhm,
for the ball, she won 80% of them. So that
mhm,
was against two, and she was facing players like Lima, Gabby Portillo, so seasoned Brazilian veterans, in this league, and she won 80% of, and she committed 0 fouls. I think that's
mhm.
and that's something you're looking for, especially for a seasoned defender. Not expecting this for a rookie. It was her first game.
It's day one. It's day one. You you nailed it with your prediction, and I was looking at my Instagram, just rewatching what you said, and word for word, it literally came through. I've never seen such an accurate prediction from Manny Olivares ever in my life, and I've done this show for 2 years. I think I think I think you phenomenally called it, and I think Leia Clanky, what a talent!
I
What
think
a
I think it's a good talent to have, especially competing with Avery Patterson and Lisa Boyd. Not saying that she's gonna overtake them, but you want a player that's hungry to who has showed that performance to be pushing you, and that
Mhm.
only makes the defense stronger because now
Oh,
you
100.
fit. Yeah, and so and also it actually not only makes your defense stronger, but also like in clutch moments, if you wanted to make that substitute, you could rely on her to come in and to close out the game. And so it's really good. It's really good to have. While the other rookies, Linda Olmark and Kat Rader and Kate Fasse, since this was a more defensive game, their abilities unfortunately wasn't on display as much, to get more of the ball and to do anything. But it was
Mhm,
it was a good effort, just to they have good positive uh, in the game, nothing too negative that I can remember how they
mhm,
did. But unfortunately, we do have to talk about that injury for Kate Fasse about the 55th minute per
mhm,
se. I think that's what happened. Sadly, it looked like it was non-contact. Looked like she rolled up her ankle or her ankle and looked like, well, Dustin said that she looked like she broke her ankle. I know she was limping out of it, out of the pitch, and then I know later confirmed by social media that she's on a boot right now. So it
mhm,
looked like we know at the moment Fabrice hasn't mentioned anything about how her I think her update. I think we'll know maybe by before this weekend. Her
mhm.
update on that, but how bad and what it gives before I ask, it just gives me Kiki vibes. You
Yeah.
know, Kiki. Her second, third game. I can't remember. I think it was her third game Like she came in and then she was doing well, getting well,
Yeah.
and then that horrible injury that cost her season. I'll not say just prematurely because we don't know how severe or what it is, but I think just given that she's in a boot, you think possibly this cuts her rookie season and on the first day.
I don't know, man. Personally don't like to, overreact with the boot because I've been in a boot without breaking anything. Sometimes it's just like a precautionary thing,
Hmm.
but I mean, it's understandably rough for her. You play your first game and you're already out and you're already, having to fight through an obstacle. I think that's unbelievably heartbreaking. Um, I think I like that you mentioned the Kiki comparison. I think that's another player we'll talk about um, for the San Diego game. But I think it's just frustrating if you're Kate Fausset. I think you fought all this way to get on a roster, to get picked, and to get a good opportunity. And you start your first game, and this is what happens. I think she's not going to be happy about it. And I think the dash aren't necessary. I would make the argument that they're not necessarily going to be too harmed about this because again, we don't know what the expectation is when it comes to a player like Fosse. I think, yeah, obviously we expect some contribution as a forward or as an attacker, but I think more of just she's a rookie. We didn't know how good she was going to be or how good she wasn't going to be. So I think give her this time, to continue to assimilate and maybe we'll see her feature. I don't know. I just want to wait before making any rash comments because I want to actually wait and see that this is as serious as people are kind of feeling.
Yeah, I think so. I think we won't know until the availability for this weekend's game. I think usually they have to disclose, most likely if she's out or if it's or a long prolonged injury, but we'll see how that goes. But I think you mentioned Kiki. I think this whole weekend was supposed to be this hyped sister rivalry that never came true because Kiki never started, and then Mimi got subbed out for another injury happened to her as well, and halftime. So we never saw this rivalry hyped that came out by the league or the clubs as well. So that was
Let the league have its fun. I mean, how often do you see sisters play against each other?
since the
I absolutely
Sam and was it the Sam and Sam the Mewis the
me
Mewis.
with it.
No,
But like
I can
they
remember
have their
I remember Sam
fun.
Mewis.
Kiki's a brilliant talent. I think it was great for her to, share the field with her sister. I think her family was there. It was amazing to see,
I like how
that
the family had
support
like
for
the
her.
half
Yeah,
jerseys.
the hat. Yeah, I thought it was hilarious.
Even though Chris hates
That's
even though
something you would do, Manny.
Chris hates those. Chris
That's
hates them
something
on the
you.
pitch.
Yeah, well, Chris hates half of the things that you do already. So I mean, like he hates half of the things that you do. I'm gonna be honest.
He's like
This
he hates
dude.
like me existing. It's just existing.
He's what? Yeah. So Manny Olivares here, my fellow co-host, is a LAFC fan, Houston Dynamo fan, Houston Dash, Chicago Cubs. What else?
That's a long list already.
How many cities? At least I keep mine to Houston and New York. I don't even know where the LA came from.
This man's in shock.
You're from Chicago.
Man, it's a long story. This man.
But in all jokes aside, I'm happy for Kiki and Mimi. I think we'll see them again. We'll see them
I
again.
think
Mimi,
even especially the second round, the second time,
yeah,
they will come here again in May. So
yeah.
so
Mimi is a great talent,
so it's
and
gonna
I
be
think she's fine.
yeah. I think Mimi is just gonna have like a slight bruise or anything, but it looked like she was good, just precautionary and everything. But it was pretty good. But so
Yeah,
so at the moment, the Dash is one player down at the moment for coming into this weekend. But breaking news, breaking news. So the Dash will be 3 players down if the rumors are true with this. So Sports
I think they're
Illustrated,
pretty true, man.
Sports Illustrated, on let the bomb exploded on Dash fans'
The
future.
Theolo Hughes
Because a
bomb.
lot of questions were very head scratching when they saw the lineup for
Mm.
the Houston Dash versus San Diego Wave. They didn't see veterans like Yazmeen Ryan. They didn't see veterans like Delanie Sheehan, who were, I would say, they were main staples. They were like integral parts of the team last
Mhm.
season. Didn't start this year, and now we know why. Because Sports Illustrated, reported by Theo Lloyd Hughes and Jenna Tonoli, and also Jeff Kasuf, that Yasmin Ryan and Delation are heading to the new expansion site, Denver Summit, from the Houston Dash, and it's going to be just a transfer fee for these 2 players. So um, I think it's a good sum of cash that the Ash are receiving. So far the fee has not been this has been not been clear, so we don't know. I think because it could be a lot of what you call
Waivers.
not waivers. What's it called? If a person reached their objective, you know what I mean. Like I think
Oh, incentives.
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 Yes, incentives.
Incentives.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
why he's an LAFC fan. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah, so incentive. So we don't know what we're gonna get from them. So and
I
so
apologize for saying that LAFC fans can't understand words. That's on
it,
me.
this is and so it's really interesting because I think I'll be okay with this move per se,
Yeah.
because uh just because of I think Fabrice was very involved in uh interested of I think getting the rookies in and integrate them in the
Mhm.
team, and I think he handpicked the rookies to that
Yeah.
will fit this system. But I think it's pretty hard to see that since one of them got injured, as K say, for we don't
Yeah.
know how long. But I think one point just before I go out to you, think about that. Theo did mention like now with this move, Houston will have saved a lot of cash for this summer's upcoming transfer window, since the end of itself first transfer window has been closed this past Monday. So the money they will get from this trade will definitely be something they will look to invest in on the summer transfer window. So what do you think of this news of Delay Sheehan? What was your first reaction?
I
When
mean,
you
I was a little shocked. I know all of y'all were kind of expecting it. But I was shocked. I mean, this is a player. These are players, both Yaz and Delanie, that came into expecting to be big time, and I think these were the players that were supposed to be integral to the offense. Delanie was actually really effective, I will say, on that front. Being able to push the ball forward, her defensive capabilities were amazing in the midfield. I think Delanie had, I think, a lot more fit in the system that Fabrice was trying to implement. Yaz, she I think it never clicked for her in Houston. I think this is another Diana Ordonez situation. There was danger, there was opportunity, but it was just not capitalized. And I think Yaz is still a terrific player. I think you see her play and you understand that she's going to be a good player, but I don't think it's for the system that Fabrice is trying to build, which is very high press, very move as one, very build from the back. What are you laughing at?
No, I'm just watching my dog just doing some crazy stuff in the background. So I'm like,
Um, I need to stop looking at you and just look at the camera, to be honest. But I think Yaz was definitely a good player. You see all the danger, but I think we're gonna see the Dash really feel the loss of Delanie Sheehan a lot more than Yaz. I think everyone's freaking about Yaz because Yaz was supposed to be the offense. Yaz was supposed to be the goal scorer, but didn't work out. Whoops, that sucks. But you have to understand, as a Dash fan, like who was really pulling the strings within that midfield that honestly was really good in the league. I wouldn't say elite. I wouldn't say it was an elite midfield. I think um, there were definitely some holes defensively. I think Barb kind of in that mix was making things a little inconsistent. But I think you see the two players that were the most effective in that midfield, and it was Danny Calabrico and also it was Delanie Sheehan. And I think that's extremely important when it comes to losing these kinds of players. And I think yeah, we'll get a replacement. Maggie Graham is going to step in. I know that she kind of added a wrench in that whole midfield when she started playing really well. I think she'll continue to do so. But again, it's always going to be a loss when you have a player that's been producing leave and kind of you need to fill those shoes somehow. But yeah.
Yeah, I think it was just pretty much that. I think not say the writing was on the wall, but I think if you saw the first half of last year, Yasmin Ryan had a very hard time
Mm-hmm.
fitting the system. I feel like Fabrice was trying to accommodate her, like go this to go to the left wing, go to the right wing, go as a attacking midfielder, go as a striker. Trying to place her to whatever she felt comfortable. And I feel like no matter what position she put, I felt like it was very hard for her
Mm-hmm.
to integrate. I know she was technically the Dash's top goal scorer, but of 4 goals, really, I think I'm not trying to make it funny or anything, but those goals can be scored by anyone at this point at this next season, and so I think it's just sad to see a player that had a high potential. It still has a high ceiling, but her skills. I think many thought her this move would benefit her to catch that pedestal that she once had back in Portland, back in Gotham, and now so now she's going to Denver, and then try and see if she can relaunch her career, and try and get back into the U.S. Women's national team for the World Cup. And then, of course, Delanie, I think she's the most underrated player. I think of NWSL players, I think she's the most underrated player. She does all the dirty work and everything. I think because she would, uh, if the ball needs to be recovered deep in the midfield, she will do it. If the ball needs to be passed to the wings, to the forward, she would do it. Or if you need someone in the box, or you don't want to be score a goal, she would do it. Or take that shot out of the box, she would do it. So I think she is the one we're gonna miss the most. And I think, frankly, if I would have kept one of them, I would keep Sheehan so that it would help, either Linda Olmark or Kat Raider to learn from her. But I think other than I think if the money if the sum of money transfer fee was that high, I think it was a good thing to do it. And at the end of the day, it releases two roster positions. I think Dustin said that I think where Dash puts them back into the league minimum. So it does give you more cap space for the summer if Angela is taking a long through okay, having better players to accommodate for Beast on this. But I just once this move is completely transparent, because it happened on Monday, or we don't know when it happened, but it was reported, today. I think it just gives some more headaches, because now with Kate Fasse out, what other players you have to accommodate now, because now you're like thinking, okay, maybe you still have Kiki, uh,
Mm-hmm.
who can fit Kate Fasse role on the wing as well, so you still have her to potentially fit in that
Mm-hmm.
spot. But also I think the move he did as well, he put uh, Clarissa Larissi up front with Makenzy Robbe. So as well for a bit. So maybe we could go to two strikers and go to a
Mm-hmm.
4-4-2. So it just gives a more I think you just see right now until we get to how K Fasse's update is just how will the lineup
Yeah.
move. I think it's very hard now with that move, but I think with this trade, I think Dustin's he mentioned in our group chat with this trade, he's like, yeah, trying to change my predictions to make the team lower. Does this I think does this hurt the Dashes I think run for the playoffs. Does it really hurt their playoff runs? I think it's too. I know it's too early to say. It's extremely too early, but just to give the pedigree of two
Mm-hmm.
high caliber players per se.
Mm-hmm. I think it obviously hurts. You have a player like Delanie Sheehan's ability to get sent. You have to fill that shoe. You have to fill that gap in talent. But it's not impossible. It's not an impossible task. I think there's a very much possibility to, have a solid first half of the season, get that summer transfer in, and then go absolutely ballistic in the second half. I mean, um, if you think about it, we would have easily made the playoffs if we didn't have as historically of a bad first half.
Yeah.
So
Hey.
it's like very within reach for this Dash team. And I would argue that Sheehan, albeit very instrumental to what the Dash were creating, isn't the end all be all. So I think when you take that into consideration, and I know Dustin is going to be rolling his eyes through to the back of his head when I say this, maybe a big summer transfer. I mean, you never know. You never know. I think Angela, from my perspective, knows what she's doing, and she's shown it time and time again. And I think this is the type of situation where you want to put yourself in because you want to have that flexibility to say, hey, I'm, you know, these two players might have been like pretty okay for us, but we need to make some changes. That's sometimes what wins you championships. Yeah, sometimes gets you out of the playoffs. Sometimes sends you to last place, Chicago. But that wins you championships if it works. And I think the Dash should be optimistic that they have the possibility to do that.
Yeah, I know. I know. So it really. I think the only bright spot that I think from this move compared to last season is that players already found out what positions they worked at. You know,
Mhm.
we need to have the whole conundrum of Maggie Graham going left back, right winger. She has her spot with Danny Calaprico, and they both have chemistry and they both understand each
Mhm.
other. So the midfield is more solid that way. And the back line has been refortified with removing Natalie Jacobs and getting the upgrade of Milia Berkeley, Avery Patterson, have them more willing to do more in the defense and offense. And now we have an actual two left backs. Lisa Boyd, one a natural left back, and a versatile defender of Leah Clinkley, who is up in the running for rookie of the year at this point. At this point. But
Mhm.
so you have with that, I think that's a great foundation, and Jane Campbell as well. She has performers like that. Even ESPN was mentioning her performance like that. If she keeps teams with that prepare, she should be knocking into the women's national team for the World Cup next year. So it's a lot of good
Mhm.
things, a lot of good things. So sad on the news, but we'll see what Dash do with the sum of money, and hopefully it'll be an upgrade for the team and help for the Fabrice system. But
Mhm.
I know before moving on, we want to remind our listeners that we do have a discount code at We Got Soccer. So please, if you go by our sponsor by We Got Soccer and you shop inside in store, please use our discount Bayou City 10. For I know it does have some exclusions, especially the World Cup jersey. So please don't be trying to use that on those, but at least for everything else, it should be good to go. So always think for you for We Got Soccer for that.
I'll say the one person that have said that is it should have been you, and I'm glad it was you. I think if you as a listener take anything from this show is that Manny's jersey collection knows no bounds because he has arguably every jersey in existence, and a lot of them he got from We Got Soccer. Hopefully, um,
No, actually, I do. I found the limited edition Portugal one, the Pantera one, the black.
oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was
okay.
sold
So
out.
listen
Yeah.
to Manny. We Got Soccer's got some exclusives.
Hmm.
And stay on the lookout. They always have fresh jerseys. They have good cleats. They're just an overall great
They
store.
have a good jersey rack for clearance.
Yeah,
So
I got that Dash training kit. for $30.
Even though I own half of the clearance rack, so I was like, skip. so so
Oh my
so
gosh.
so on a side note,
And it's the Indiana Jones of
I'm still waiting for the USA and Italy baseball ones. I gotta get my
why are
boy.
you going to a soccer store for baseball jerseys?
No. I just got them online. I'm just waiting for
Why
them.
are you doing that?
Paul Speaks. But I know.
Oh, come on. It's not Paul Skeens. Let's be
I don't want to turn this into baseball, but I just it's gonna be real triggered. But
honest. Oh my gosh. Okay.
other than baseball, talk about baseball. Gotham and who are they facing in the
Washington, the Washington
Washington?
Spirit. They're going to be playing at Citi Field. We got the confirmation this week on Tuesday when the Mets and the Gotham made a partnership announcement saying that they will play, if I remember correctly, a rematch of the NWSL Championship on July 15th. This is the first time that the team will play at either Yankee or Citi Field. And I'm certainly glad they picked the better out of the two. And it'll be a great show for everyone.
I hope Mr. and Mrs. Met comes up.
They went to the announcement.
I know, but the actual game.
Oh, they will. It's a Mets thing too.
I know. I love Mr. Met.
So he's a Mets fan too. Huh. Let's add that one to the list.
I just like the mascot. I think
Going from baseball back to soccer, though, to just wrap up the very brief segment that we talked about, most of the World Baseball Classic players that made an impact were all from the Boston Red Sox. Another Boston team that's making an impact and marking their own legacy is the Boston Legacy, which is our next opponent. Manny, give me your thoughts. Are you scared of this of the new kids in town? Are you confident? What are you feeling going into the match?
I think I was rewatching their game against what's it called?
Gotham.
Yeah, and I think they were pretty unlucky, to be honest, and pretty rookie mistakes as a expansion team. Because it's a group of new players, I think the player that really got impressed me, Assista Traore. She was quick, she was fast, and I think the first I think something you will look at this game is that they're a. Do you know who they remind me of? Stoke City. Reason why they're very aggressive, play a lot. Look, because they were very physical. They would like to disturb your
I
game.
understand where you're coming from, but I just want you to realize that we've gone from the World Baseball Classic to Stoke City in less than 5 minutes.
I know. That's the type of day I'm having today.
No, I see it. I mean,
yeah, because like they're very physical to Gotham. They would like to impede the game of other than the dumb challenge that Bianca wrote St. George's did. Yeah. That was the most rookie tackle I've ever seen. There was no reason why she needed to make that tackle. But
she's a 10-year veteran. She's the most experienced player on that Boston Legacy team.
Well, I think Nichelle Prince.
Okay. Nichelle Prince. Okay. But like, come on. You're one of two players that has been in this league, and you make
Murphy.
3 players. Do you want to add on to the list?
Ella Stevens.
Ella Stevens is not a 10-year veteran.
Yes, she has played. I was actually doing my preview for this game. Ella Stevens actually has played 8 seasons in
NWSL. 8. You've heard it here first. She is 27.
I think she is 28.
Okay. Because I also have been doing my preview, Manny. Just for my own thing. I don't know. But I love your point about speed because this has been the scariest part about Boston.
Yes.
Aisata Traore has the potential to be the third best striker in the NWSL.
Yeah, she does.
She legitimately does. I think, especially with a player like Ella Stevens, which has also played with elite strikers. Stevens is a really underrated player in that Gotham roster that won
Yeah,
a lot. I think that was a great pickup, and I think Ella Stevens is going to thrive. But I think
and then she's a
Traore,
very she's a winner. She's a winner. She came from the
yeah,
20,
absolutely.
yeah, from the 2023
Mhm.
side, and she was also part of the Gotham when they won the women's CONCACAF Champions Cup
Yeah,
as well. So
yeah, she's a
I think
winner.
they have a good squad as in veterans, and they know their identity. But I think it's just, if you saw that game again, it was a lot of rookie mistakes. It's like, if
I mean,
no matter
it's
the
that's how the play. Like I was gonna say this. Bianca St. George's has been in the league for what, 11, 12 years, and if you've seen her play, she plays like this almost every game.
well, it's
She
eight as the Ella Stevens 8 seasons. This is her 8th season.
Okay. Well, she's played like this every single one of those 8 seasons. And I think you look at her and you look at how she plays physical defense. The coach of Boston Legacy like pretty much defended the tackle after the game, saying, "Oh, this is a contact sport." These are the things that are losing you games. I mean, what do you mean it's a contact sport when you make a stupid foul? Like Boston, if we're looking at Boston against this Dash team, the key to success is honestly composure. Compose yourself. They're going to try to outrun you. They're going to try to, outpace you. They're going to use I see Asada Traore. They're going to use her because they
Mhm.
know that the Dash have suffered in transitional play because of the fact that, Avery Patterson's the only speedy defender. But again, you see a player like Leia Klinke, kind of step up in that defensive capability. You have Lisa Boettin maybe coming back. You have these options now, and I think if the Dash really want to win this game, they need to be composed. And I
Yeah,
think this is great. This is a great thing because the self-recognized hothead on your team last season is not playing for Boston. So I think you take this game and you should look at yourselves in the mirror if you're the Dash and think, yeah, Traore is going to be dangerous. Traore is going to be, tough. Ella Stevens, and then Bianca St. George's and the defense is going to give you some troubles. But like, I love how you said experience, Manny. But half the team has no NWSL experience.
yeah, yeah. I
Sammy
think the,
Smith, a great player, no NWSL experience,
they have a
and I
player. They have
still
a player
get it.
named They have a player named Kaká. Not the famous Kaká, but
Yeah,
just
yeah, we've gone over this. Yeah, Boston Legacy has also gone over this. But you have half the players just not have NWSL experience.
yeah,
At that point, you're playing rookies because this is a fundamentally difficult league.
yeah,
I'm not saying that this Legacy team sucks because they were actually great. With all things considered, you're playing the defending champions, you're down a person, and you still only lose 1-0.
1-0.
That's a good performance.
Yeah, I think so. I think
But
so too.
I think this Legacy team is not as experienced as what people say they are, and I think it will take them more time than Denver to really adapt. And
Yeah,
I think the Dash need to take advantage of this.
yeah. I think if the Dash should come out with a win with this, if they keep these two in mind, to keep an eye on the counterattack, to make sure not to
Hmm.
be exposed, and especially a player like maybe AV Patterson and Leia Kaliku, that not to be too much up in the field when that happens, or they will be cooked. And then secondly, I think just to uh, be quick on the ball so that they won't
Yeah.
be physically attacked or disturbed by their presence. And I think
Mhm.
it's gonna be a real test, especially for the rookies if Linda Allmark and Kate Rader start again. To be quick on the
Mhm.
ball and to get that ball moving, so that first that possession keeping, and also to make sure that uh, no injuries or unnecessary injuries or beyond that. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how it goes. So before we go, your predictions for this game coming up.
My score prediction. I was secretly hoping you would have put yourself first, but that's fine. I
All right,
think.
I'll put myself first. I'll put myself first. Okay, I'll put myself first. Okay, I
Okay.
predict. I I predict a 2-0 win. Reason why? I feel like the defense in the dash will just only grow. I think if
Mhm.
Lisa Boyte comes back, that means competition at defense. That means it will be uh, Leah Klinkley will have to prove herself to keep in this lineup, and no
Mhm.
better way than to against this pacey Boston team, but that is very still, like you say, experienced but unexperienced at the same time. So her will be on a good level to see, okay, if she's mature enough to take on this team. And also I think not the midfield, Danny Calaprico and Maggie Graham are very experienced enough to contain any counterattack, so to keep the ball. So I feel like that will be the main focal point, and I feel like the dash will dominate that, and I think we will get a goal. Uh, I think from one of the rookies. I think one of the rookies will make a goal. I don't know who, just because I don't know who's going to make it, but I feel like one of the rookies is going to make a goal, and I feel like Makenzy Robbe will get the other one because I
Mhm.
feel like this system is made for her.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna go with the same prediction I made last game. I think 2-1 screams this kind of game. Bless you to my roommate, amazing roommate. Shout out. Okay, all right, you didn't have to do that, but thank you. Um, I think this game screams Boston's gonna score first, but I think they're gonna lose their composure. I don't think their tricks are gonna work all 90 minutes, and I think, yeah, they competed against the defending champions, but I think it's gonna take time for them to find an identity. They are a team without an identity right now. And
Yeah.
yeah, I love everything they've done outside of the 90 minutes of building the brand and building the community and building the fan base. Um, eh, but you need to have an identity on the field, and I think that's something that the Dash, whether we like it or not, from this team, do have, and that's build up play, play with the ball, play through the middle, not necessarily through the wing backs, even though, sometimes feed it to Avery. It's more of, yeah, like, pass it through the middle. And I think um, having that identity is going to be a really big strength for the Dash. And I think they need to stick with it for a 2-1 win.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's gonna be an interesting match this coming weekend. It's gonna be a home game, so make sure to be there, support the Dash. I know they're starting to sell the upper bowl as well, so please try to fill it up. I think it's gonna be a good game.
Yeah,
Somewhat windy
go
temperature.
see Dash games, please. Go see
It's gonna
Dash
be
games.
Saturday at 3 p.m. This it's gonna be I think the first and only early kickoff at home. So
Yeah, I think
so
so.
so please go out and support it, and that will be a good game to watch, and hopefully we'll see what the Dash do. Hopefully I think my other thing is hopefully they start their home. I think their home schedule good. I think feel like sometimes it's up and down. Home advantage. So hopefully we'll win. Just puts that to rest that it's a new team, it's a new history to
Hmm.
prove it and be proven. So,
Hmm.
well, thank you for all for coming in. Hopefully next weekend we'll get to see a little bit more what happens with the transfer rumors, and it will is see Yaz and the Sheehan will be moved out, and what the Dash will do, and see what the result, and hopefully we'll get an update for Cat Fostay's injury. Thank you once again for always coming back to by our Origin Blueprints podcast at Bayou City Soccer. Please always look out for us at our social media or BioCitySoccer.net. You can always look out for us at Instagram, Twitter, X, YouTube, Threads, TikTok, and Blue Sky. Always like to think up again our sponsor of Ugly Guppy, Lotus Bravos, and We Got Soccer, which is Diego's favorite store, apparently. So
It's your favorite, sir. What?
what? But no,
We'll
thank you
see
for
y'all
all,
next week.
and thank you all. But we'll see. Hopefully, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, it's another win and continue this winning streak. But until then, we'll see y'all soon next week.
Love to see it. See y'all next week.